I recently had the absolute pleasure and honor of speaking with Harriet McDougal, legend in the publishing community, esteemed editor of books including Ender's Game and my favorite series of all time, The Wheel of Time. She was also the wife of James Oliver Rigney Jr., aka Robert Jordan, and edited his works throughout his life. After his untimely and tragic death, she selected Brandon Sanderson to finish the series, which he did masterfully, in my opinion. And she also worked on the Wheel of Time Companion, an absolute Bible for Wheel of Time fans. I was recently in Charleston for the signing of the newest book in the Wheel of Time universe, Origins of the Wheel of Time by Michael Livingston. And since I had never met Harriet, I shot my shot with Maria Simmons, who is an absolute angel, and I set up this interview. So that's what this video is today. We start by sitting down and talking about her career, Robert Jordan, and the Wheel of Time, and then she takes me on a brief tour of her home where she shows me some of her Wheel of Time related art. I hope you enjoyed the interview as much as I did. I still can't believe I got to do it. Harriet was an absolute pleasure to talk with, especially because she was incredibly kind and generous with her space and time. I'm not going to leave you hanging any longer. I will remind you though to please interact with this video. It really, really helps. Please enjoy. Thank you again for doing this. It is an insane honor to be here with you. Everyone's wondering, just to start with a couple easy questions for you. Do you have a favorite book?
Oh, well, I guess The Eye of the World, because that's what was so astonishing.
Okay.
When it hit me, it was just, whoa!
Okay, how about outside of the Wheel of Time? Do you have a favorite book?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Well, that's loyalty right there. I love it. So in the Wheel of Time then, do you have a favorite character?
Well, I love Perrin, who also struck me as the most like Robert Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved them all, even the bad guys.
Do you have a favorite villain?
Well, Paddon Fane's pretty good.
Ooh, okay, sneaky, I like it.
Yeah.
What about, do you have an Aja of your preference?
Blue.
Me too.
Oh,
Blue, Team Blue. I love it.
yes.
Do you have like an affiliation with Moraine or Swan, or is it just generally the Aja?
Well, I like Swan's torn up hat. I like Swan.
Okay, well, she's a great character.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about you. Your career is incredible. Not only did you edit The Wheel of Time, but also one of my personal favorites, Ender's Game, apparently. I didn't actually realize that. Could you give us like your origin story? How did you get started in the field?
Well, the way I got started was when I was about 12. I was sitting at a friend's breakfast table. I'd had a sleepover at somebody else's house, and I had been reading the side of the cereal box that was on the breakfast table. And what I remember very clearly is looking up at whoever it was who had spoken and said, "You mean there's a job where they pay you to read?"
Really?
That's when my career began.
I love that.
It was that really I can mark it. That's the day I wanted, okay, they call that being an editor. I think I'll go for that.
Heck yeah. And then just from then on, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
No deviations. That's awesome.
Not much.
Okay, so what was it about Mr. Jordan's writing specifically that I guess sold you on it or lured you in?
Well, I had also edited his Conans, all 7 of them. I edited all his work except for one book, Cheyenne. I'm pulling a blank.
Oh,
Cheyenne something.
Okay.
And so I knew by that time anything I had known about how to write, I'd already taught him. And he already knew everything I had to teach him. And it was just, he was a wonderful writer by nature.
Yeah, we've all seen that by now. With respect to the Wheel of Time, when did you realize that you were involved in something that was so singularly special?
Well, let's see. When I had gotten up to the first half of The Eye of the World, which he had given me, we used to practice curbside edits.
Oh, okay.
He would bring me chapters. He worked in the back, as you know, but anyway, I said, and when they get to Tarvalon, and he said, they don't get there in this book, Harriet. And I looked at him and, okay.
Here we go.
That's when I realized it was going to be something very special.
A big journey.
Yeah.
More than just one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess from your perspective, what do you see as the overall message or theme or some of your favorite themes from the series?
Good and evil are always fighting for who's going to rule the world. And I say that on election day.
Right.
Let's hope things go well.
Fingers crossed on that.
Yes,
Have you voted already?
Yes, I have.
So have I.
Good.
I got mine in before I left just to
Good.
make sure, because I was going to be here.
Good.
So so I guess that kind of plays into the ancient symbol of the Aes Sedai, the yin yang without the circles. It's everything is balanced essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So I love that. I actually have a Wheel of Time tattoo. I might show you.
Oh my goodness.
It's got that symbol on it. So what is your favorite memory from working on the series?
I'm just staring into the middle distance. I'm not seeing anything. You're asking me for my favorite memory out of how many years?
A lot. I know, it's a steep question.
I really can't think.
Okay.
It was all pretty terrific.
Mm-hmm.
It really was.
For us too. I didn't start reading them until I was like 15, I think. So they had been around, obviously, for a while. But then once I started, I was like, well, I guess I'm sold. I guess this is what I do now. So how do you feel now with the Wheel of Time universe kind of expanding? We've got the show, we've got the book that just came out today. Like, what's the vibe for you?
Well, it's just, it's interesting. It's very nice to have people loving the material. It's just great.
Okay. I think it's great too. I personally really enjoy the fact that now it's got way more name recognition, although obviously it was like a bestseller and people who know fantasy know Robert Jordan, but the fact that I can point to the show, for example, and be like, it's like The Lord of the Rings or whatever, like you should read the books, and more people are listening because they're like, oh, I guess it's kind of a big deal, It's a good selling point for sure on the books.
Yes, indeed.
Which is my favorite part.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any hopes for the future? We just got the Origins book. Like, do you see anything else happening? Any spin-offs or more
Not
Origins?
if I can help it.
Not if you can help it. We're done.
My husband did not want spin-offs.
Okay.
Not spin-offs, let's say.
Like a sequel?
The sharecropping,
Oh.
where people come in and write sequels and sequels and sequels. And from a financial point of view, that's very good. But that he had a horror of that, and said to prevent it, he would take all his hard disks and run over them with a semi truck to break them up. And I see no reason to go against his wishes.
Yeah, we don't want to Star Warsify it, right? Because they just keep
Absolutely.
getting more and more books.
I don't know. He didn't want that.
Well, then why would we go against him? Okay, I like it.
And he's the maker.
He is indeed the creator, is what we like to call him.
Well, yes, he is.
Okay, so this is one from, I told you some people online submitted questions. People are wondering if you have any hot takes or like controversial opinions about the books.
I don't think so.
No.
No. I worked out all my controversial takes when I was editing.
Were there any
And
edits?
that's a long time ago.
True. Were there any edits you were like, I really want this to happen, and they didn't happen? You don't have to tell me.
Oh, well, I will only tell you and 8 million of your personal friends.
You don't have to, but...
Well, I wanted his cats to have their colors on. A cat walked across the room. Well, I wanted to know whether it was black or white.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't doing it, so I put in purple. And boy, he was cruel.
So you put in a purple cat.
And then he was very mad. Well, it didn't last long.
Oh.
And he put in the colors of cats.
Okay, I was gonna say, I could have sworn there was an orange cat.
Yeah.
Wasn't there? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, they just had colors.
Okay. We almost had a purple cat, guys.
Yes.
That's so good.
Yes.
Okay, so this leads into another question that people on the internet asked. So did you have any pets while you were writing?
Yes, we had a cat.
Okay.
And he was not purple.
What was his name?
His name was Shere Khan.
Oh my gosh.
And he lived up to it. He was an unaltered Tom.
Oh, okay. Was he orange?
No, he was, I think it's called a tabby, the stripy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like a gray or brown?
Brown and black stripes.
Brown and black stripes.
Yeah.
Okay, Shere Khan, very nice. And
that's the tiger in the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up with the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
I totally.
So did we.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of a multi-generational story. Love that. I guess that's all I had on my list. I know I sent you these in advance so you would know what to expect, so I don't want to like spring anything else on you. But if there's anything else that I didn't ask you that you want, since you haven't had any interviews about the Origins book or anything else, is there anything you want to say?
Well, I think I am very fond of Michael Livingston.
Mm-hmm.
He's super and a friend to the Wheel of Time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping the book does very well indeed.
Me too. I'll have 2 copies and the audiobook. So we're all planning on going to the signing tonight.
Yes, I'll be there.
We'll see you there. I know some people are planning to bring other books too, like their companions and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I hope you're prepared to sign a little bit.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I guess we spent some time with Michael Livingston last night. Mm-hmm. He showed us the desk.
Yeah.
And the saber-tooth skull and all of that stuff. So it was really special.
Good. I'm so glad.
Yeah, this is an unreal trip for sure for all of us, I think. So I hope and everyone also sent their well wishes. We all hope you're doing well.
Thanks. I'm doing fine.
Doing just fine, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. I guess, can you tell us when season 2 is going to come out? No. I'm kidding. I don't know if anybody does. I don't know if anybody does. So do you have any favored, memorabilia from that time, from the books or anything like that you keep here? I know you've donated a lot and given Michael stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you kept here that you really like?
Oh, well, I do like the
Val and Luca.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And there's a tarpaulin in the hall from the people who were doing the comic. The artist, his name's Lise Cargan.
Oh, and dragons, look. Wow, that's a tall house.
Well, yeah. Somebody wrote a book about Charleston, Proprietary houses.
Oh my goodness. I love the art for this one.
Yeah.
The Balsamon face.
Well, but you'll notice it isn't there.
Yeah, I do notice it isn't there.
This is where I sleep.
You don't want it looking at you, huh?
Well, I'd wake up staring at the art. And I'm very nearsighted, but the head that piece came through.
It glowed a little bit.
So I asked Darrell if he would paint it out, and he said yes, he did. And I remember another thing about that St. Louis. There was a guy whose day job was working in a shelter for big cats somewhere in the Midwest, who brought some tiger cubs who were about a week old.
Oh my gosh.
And they had a big area. They slept almost all the time. And you could have your picture taken with them with one of them for I've forgotten what it was, $10, $20 donation, but they were only on duty for an hour at a time. And my husband got a picture of one of them.
I've actually gone to a big cat sanctuary in Missouri too. I wonder if it's the same.
Well, it was somebody within spitting distance of St. Louis.
I bet that's the one then.
It was amazing to see how fast they grew.
Yeah.
We were there for 3 days. Could see the difference.
Well, there it was. Harriet was an absolute pleasure to talk with. I said that before, and I truly mean it. I want to say thank you to her and to Maria for setting this up, and to Michael Livingston for all the work that he did on the origins of the Wheel of Time and meeting with us while we were down in Charleston. And a final shout out to my generous patrons and members. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world. Have an amazing day.